Hello, good afternoon or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. Hi, everyone. We're back with another review video. The second semi-final of Pesma Za Evroviziju just finished, and we have our 16 finalists. They're going to compete this Friday, and one of them is going to be selected as Serbia's entry for Switzerland. What did you guys think about this year's competition in Serbia?
Well, Pisma is one of my favorite semifinals, so I always like whatever they have. Even though I think that last year was a bit stronger than this one, but I think that this year we got a very interesting array of competitors. Like we have every single genre on the table, and we have a lot of variety, and it's very good because Balkan countries usually have like a certain type of song to send. But it seems like Serbia wants to break the mold. Like they already did once with Constructa, and ever since Constructa broke through that mold of Balkan countries, it gave everyone this idea of, you know what, we could also do this. We could like go anywhere, even darker themes. I mean, we had Hurricane in 2021 already with Loco Loco, which was already a bit switch up, but I think that Constructa finished to cement that. And this was very reflected on the finalists. And yeah, I liked it a lot, to be honest.
I do have to agree with Bea about the fact that last year was stronger, and I do believe that some of the songs which were in the competition last year would have easily swept up the concurrence like this year.
Mhm.
But that aside, I also need to tell that I really admire to see RTS like trying to organize a national selection and a national final every single year and trying to deliver something with a good production. That aside, I mean, the production is good, but the visuals for this year are a bit, I don't know, like a bit troublesome. I wish they didn't overplay that much with AI as they did. But on the other hand, it's magical how the production is doing well, and some of the performances were really amazing. Also, it helped to some of the songs and some of the artists to grow into the eyes of the audience, I believe. But it's a bit tricky, like to discuss about Pizza this year because of what's going on around. But I do believe, anyways, that the music is the most important thing, and the situation regarding that will be that the artist will be having a chance to convey the message, to share the impressions of the songs with the audience, and also we will be all listening to the songs, as well as some of the songs should have been in the final, but they're not. But that's a tradition which is happening in most of the national selections every single year. So it's not thing different this time.
I agree with you when you say last year's selection was a lot better, in my opinion. Um, I felt a huge discrepancy between semifinal one and semifinal two. I felt like semifinal one was like MESC 2024, and semifinal two was Benidorm Fest 2023. That's how different things seemed, even in the quality of the songs, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I love Pesma Za Evroviziju every year. This year I'm coming to Serbia, so I'm really, really excited to see what goes on where not everyone can go.
You're in for a show, Shaun. I agree with you guys. Last year's competition was much stronger, and I think that this is the weakest Pesmas Eurovision that we've had. Um, I think that the quality of the songs could be better. I also think that like some of the performances could be better, and I just feel like I don't know, a little bit let down by quite a lot of the acts actually, but there's still a couple that like managed to shine through and actually qualify for the final because there were quite not quite a few, but there were a couple of others that I felt that like they deserved the place in the final and they didn't get it, whilst some others did. But we're gonna get to that very shortly. And
We're not gonna
let's
get to it because they didn't make the final. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Dusan Kurkic.
fair
Where
enough.
is he
I'm gonna stick to Milan Nikolić and
as well?
Jelena Lin. But anyways,
Same.
let's start with the first one, and that is going to be Storia dell'amor by Milan Nikolić and Caka. Shaun.
I like it. I like it. It's not one of the songs I listened to before, so I watched the performance with listening to the song for the first time, and I really, really like it. I don't think it should win, but it definitely has a place in on Friday's final. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, the song definitely has some power to it, but I do feel like it's a bit one note, and especially I don't know, maybe I expected something different, but the performance, it's just wanna be Nutcracker, but then you kind of don't get it even in that way, and then you get something different, and then I mean, the vocal is okay, but I do feel at the moment that Caka just like screams a bit, so it's a bit also a bit crazy. So it's like, wow, what's going on? And then I don't know, it just doesn't suit the song. I felt like performance should have been for a more gentle song and more relaxing and like a ballad, but this one is just like overpowered by the song. I don't know, something just doesn't fit right with it to me.
I thought that Caka was great. Let's turn that into points. Shaun?
8.
Bea?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I'm with Shaun on this one. It's going to be an 8 for me as well. Nikola?
It's a 4 for me.
Ooh,
Wow.
Nikola.
Wow.
He doesn't like the Italian title, I guess. 26 points for Milan
Nationalistic all the way.
Yeah, 26 points for them. Next up, we're going to have Harem Girls with Aladdin. Bea?
Oh, I really love this number. It felt campy and magical all in the same measure, like the kind of campy you like to see in Eurovision. I love drag queens. Like I've watched like pretty much all the seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, so I really loved to see some on stage. And I really love to see, the aesthetic with the big moon and the purple colors and that desertic feel combined with some electronic sounds. So I think that if it goes to Eurovision, it's going to amass a lot of following. I really think that it's a perfect fit for the final.
And I feel that a lot of people are going to start hating me right now.
Don't just start, Ervin. Don't start.
I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that there is this type of representation in Pesma Za Evroviziju as well. And I absolutely respect that. But I am absolutely liking the song, first of all, because I feel that this song was, in a way, written for Hurricane, for the new band members. And they heard it from the composer who normally composes for them. They didn't like it, so let's just give it to someone else. It's sort of like a B-side track for me. Apart from that, I was not impressed by the performance whatsoever, because if I hear that there's a drag act, the thing that I expect is energy. And we've had it years after year after year. We had it with Gratitude in Malta. We had it with Lolita
What
Zero in
Paris?
Lithuania. We had it with Quintastic in Norway, etc. This was
Shaun in
anything.
Benidorm Fest.
This was anything but energy. Like they lacked stage presence, they lacked a performance, and it was very clear that like they have one singer, that's the girl who sings amazingly. You have, I believe, one or two of the others who were rapping, and everything else felt like backing track, which I felt a little bit disappointed with, especially because there is one part where you actually have one of the drag queens come towards the center of the stage, miming, even without a microphone, without a headset, without anything. So sorry, but this is just not really my cup of tea. And I was hoping that like they would back that up with some like really, really energetic performance, but that just didn't happen. Out of 10, Bea.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
For me, this is only going to be a 4. Nikola?
It's a 6 for me.
Shaun?
Yeah, I'm with Ervin on everything you said, buddy. It's a 5.
And that scores 23 points for Harem Girls. Iskaz are next with Trendsetter. Nikola?
I mean, speaking of random performances and mashups, this is definitely one to have because, like, at one moment, I have a vibe from them, which a lot of people also wrote on social media, but I do definitely agree that they're resembling to Dubioza Collective, which is a band from Bosnia and Herzegovina, who is quite popular in the Balkan. But on the other
They're
hand,
actually just about to have a concert in Budapest soon.
so yeah, so on the other hand, I do have a feeling that this is a bit of the vibe and the energy which we got with Cosa Mostra in 2013. Then on the other hand, we do have the traditional like carpet from Pirotski Chilling, which is part of the scenography, and then all of a sudden you have the sheeps and everything and just running around and the fireworks, and it gets crazy, and that's the energy. And like I really as much as like the songs like that could be something which is something that I listen in general, but not in this arrangement and not in this way. I did expect something completely different from them when I saw that they apply for Pesma Za Evroviziju. But on the other hand, as much as some of the lyrics are quite troublesome, I mean Trendsetter and all the other things, I don't know, it's somehow funny and somehow crazy, and I love the vibe and the energy. But as I said, I would still prefer to hear something different from them in the competition itself.
I have to agree that they gave me big alcohol is free vibes too. And alcohol is free is one of my all-time favorite Eurovision entries. So you can imagine how stoked I was to seeing them on stage. And then the rolling sheep in the aesthetic and the chaos on stage and the rhythm and everything. It just blew my mind. It was awesome to see them. And I think that this is going to be one of those entries that you either love it or hate it when it goes to Eurovision, if it goes to Eurovision. And I'm all for it. I'm ready to start defending them the moment somebody speaks something bad about them. Like if somebody hates them, I'm gonna be their number one warrior to defend them. And yeah, I love the song, I love the performance, and I really hope that if they don't win, they get at least a top 10 placement in the final because they absolutely deserve it.
Well, this one time I don't think that you're gonna need to hate me, Bea, but only one way to find out.
It's okay.
Nikola, out of 10.
I mean, it's a 6.
Shaun?
6.
Bea?
Yeah, for me, it's gonna be a 7.
Yeah, you're definitely not gonna hate me then. It's a 7 for me as well.
Okay, that's good.
And they're tied for first place with 26 points. We're going to continue with the fourth act, and that's going to be Biber with Da mi se vratiš. And I feel that like this was the best performance of semifinal one by like an absolute mile. It really stood out from the rest of the competition. It's like overall, I do think that like this is one of the strongest songs, and it's actually the first song that I like of Biber. They have been in the Serbia and Montenegro national finals in the past as well. I was never a fan of their songs. This one is a little bit different. I don't know. The singer sings this song like absolutely perfectly, and I also love the way that like she manages to like play around with her voice like a little bit here and there. And even though like I feel that the performance was really brought down and like kind of made like feel a little bit intimate in a way, this still like suited the song perfectly. And it was just like, I don't know, for me it was beautiful from like start to finish, and I'm almost 100% sure that this was the winner of semifinal one, and I can actually see this going quite high on the scoreboard in the final as well, and I hope that they do.
Wow. Talk about predictions. Yeah, I liked it.
Just a bit.
I liked it. I thought the vocals were pretty damn good. I like the song. I could do a bit with a little bit more lighter staging, to be honest. It's a bit miserable, but I like the song. Yeah, it's very much what I expect to see at Pesma Za Evroviziju, but it's palatable. Yeah,
I mean, the
I like it.
backstrings were among the best ones, if you ask me. I love the trees, I love the forest, and I love the dark and mystic vibe, and it's something I definitely didn't expect from them, and they kind of bought me with it.
Let's see how they do here. I'm gonna kick the voting off with a 9. Nikola.
It's a 7 from me.
Shaun.
Esagerazioni. Sì.
Bea.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 7 for me. I liked it a lot, and I thought that the aesthetic was gorgeous. So yeah.
I liked it the most, apparently, but they scored 29 points overall, and that puts Biber in the lead. Oxajo are up next with Mama. Shaun. Aw.
Shaun.
This is
I
what
feel
happens
Bea
at-
judging you already.
Please be my guest. This is what I feel most of the time with Serbia. When we try to do these almost teenage school bands kind of performance, I don't think it works. I don't think it's what we come to Pesma Za Evroviziju for. Me at least. Yeah, the song is not immediate. The performance wasn't blowing my mind. I wasn't expecting it to qualify, but then again, what the hell do I know about Serbia? Yeah, I'll donate the rest of my time to someone else.
Yeah, no, we couldn't be more polar opposites in this case, because I love the song from the moment it came out. Like I was looping it from the moment it came out because I'm a very big fan of bleak ballads and bleak rock songs, and I love like dark songs. I'm a big fan of dark songs, and I also got the honor to interview Dusan, which is the main vocalist, and it made me appreciate the song a little bit more. So I really, really loved the song from the get-go, and the staging, it was a perfect compliment for me. It was, I love old school aesthetic, old school horror. It really reminded me of the Monsters or the Addams Family in some case. And I really like that. So yeah, this is my winner from Pesma. I love it. I absolutely love it.
What, you're number one?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice
I
to
mean,
meet
they're
you, Bea.
good. I mean, they're good. The song is interesting and the lyrics are nice and it's fun. I mean, even though it's dark, it kind of gives you a bit nice energy and fun. I don't know how to explain it. It's something within it, and
Yeah, it's
definitely a nice
like
performance.
into the dark vibes, there are good vibes. It's like this that kind of friendly spookiness they sell you on Halloween, for example, and it's like it's very nice.
When you mentioned the Addams Family now, I just started immediately thinking like which one of them was Uncle Fenster and which one was Lurch. But I just don't see them. But anyways,
You guys are terrible. You guys are terrible.
let's turn that into points. Shaun,
A generous 5.
Bea,
Yeah, that's gonna be a 9 out of 10 for me.
this isn't bad actually. I gave this one a 6. Nikola,
It's a 7 for me.
and that is 27 points for Ohio, which puts them in second place right now. Vukayla is up next with Mask. Nikola.
I mean, the song from the get-go, among the songs which I heard from Pesma Za Evroviziju, is the one which intrigued me the most in a way that I was, let's say, surprised by the fact how much lyrics is written there in both English and Serbian, and I was not sure whether she will be able to deliver it in the live performance. And she did, definitely, for me. I love the performance as well, and I am hooked to the song. I sing it from time to time. It cannot leave my head, and definitely it's among the songs which I like the most from this year's edition of Pesma Za Evroviziju. And the performance was also interesting and nice in a way that it complemented the song well. And yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, I still have it in my head and I'm singing it among the ones from the qualifiers from the final. I'm glad that she was announced first because it was a nice relief to have. But I don't know what to expect from the results for this song. It's going to be interesting to see how will it score in the end. I hope it will be good.
I'm just glad that I took some notes because like I can't even hum the tune of this song like for my life. So I'm completely gonna rely on my notes here. And I remember that like the song started sort of like listing things in a way without like singing. So she could have actually listed her shopping list or something, I'm not sure, before it actually started turning into singing. And like my other note says that like this was dramatic, which I normally like, but I felt that like this was just like dramatic and like sometimes a little bit shouty for absolutely no reason. It did look nice on screen, because like the main color of the performance was blue in like different shades and like something between like blue and green, and blue was the color that I think that like looked best on this stage. So that went for her, let's say. And the performance had like a decent concept. But again, I don't remember the song whatsoever. And like I do remember that she was constantly changing between Serbian and English, which was also distracting me. And I wasn't really understanding what she's singing about at all. Uh, I do understand that a lot of people love it, including Nikola, but personally, this is just not for me. And it just wasn't memorable at all for me. I'm sorry.
I think this is one of the songs that I didn't really get the hype on when I heard the songs. But tonight, I think it was the most competent performance, one of the most competent performers. But the problem with this is I feel like Serbia is a country that has a lot of heritage at Eurovision. And when they don't send songs which are true to their Eurovision heritage, they don't do well. And I feel like this is one of the songs that is not true to its Eurovision heritage. And consequently, I think if it went to Eurovision, it wouldn't do so well.
Let's turn that into points. Nikola,
It's an 8 for me.
Shaun,
It's an 8, heavy on the performance.
Bea.
I love it. 7 out of 10.
I gave it an extra point as well because of the staging, so it got bumped up to a 4. And that is 27 points for Vukayla. Lensy is up next with Hvala Ti. Shaun,
This was a song that I didn't expect to see in the final until I saw the performance.
none of
Yeah,
us did.
yeah. Uh, uh, I didn't follow Pesma Za Evroviziju as much as I did last year, so I was very insecure about my predictions, but good to know that I wasn't alone. I have to admit the performance really did it for me. I think this is a very competently performed ballad. I feel like it's not overdone, and in a way, it reminds me a little bit of Zoria. Yeah, in the sense that I think it's not overdone, but at the same time, doesn't take away from the strength of the song. Yeah, I respect this.
I mean, there are several wings appearing here and there, and like she stole the wings from Morocco, and we ended up having them here, and then they fall off or whatever, or just having the wings from Breskvica last year, but I don't see the resemblance with Zoria whatsoever.
No, not that it was similar, in the sense that it wasn't overcooked, even though it had staging. Like last year, Zoria had staging, and there were people who were like, "No, she ruined it." I'd never thought it was overcooked. I'm feeling the same thing with this.
I feel that Zoria needs to come back to Pesma Za Evroviziju and win it. If she was in it this year with Liko Gledalo, she would have
Yes,
no competition whatsoever.
yes, she would survive the competition, definitely. I mean, yes, I needed that song in Eurovision. I love
I'll
it.
take Constructor.
Yeah.
She was already
Constructor,
one.
balance, whichever.
Anyways, back to Lensy. Out of 10. Shaun,
6.
Bea,
Yeah, I gave it 6 out of 10. And I didn't really dig it. And ballads are not my thing anyway, so
I also give it a 6. Nikola,
And another 6.
and that is 4 times 6. That's 24 points for Lensy.
House United.
The one we
Yeah.
agreed on.
There have
yes.
to be at least one. Well, let's see what's going to happen with the next one then. Kruz Roudi with Sve Jodmach. I have to say that when I was watching this in the first semi-final, as soon as I saw those capes with the stars on it, I rolled my eyes instantly. But then afterwards, I sort of warmed up to it a little bit because, again, like the backdrop really worked well with their outfits, including that bloody awful cape. I'm sorry. And as the song was progressing, I didn't mind it. And it was sort of like, I don't know, like old style rock, maybe Yugo rock or something. I'm not sure. But it was very inoffensive. And it's the kind of rock song that normally does quite well in Pesma Za Evroviziju. So once the song finished, like I was almost sure that this is going to qualify. Like we've had so many examples in the past years as well. And then it's going to do rather decently in the final. Not too high, but not too low either. And this is what I think that like is going to happen for Kruz Roudi as well. I'm glad that they're here. I'm glad that they qualified. They're better than some of the others, but yeah, that's about it. It's all right. Shall we score it out of 10 then?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with a 6. Nikola,
The love child of Harry Potter and School of Rock receives a 6 from me as well.
Shaun,
5.
Bea.
I'm going to be that insufferable Joker out fangirl and bring one of their songs that's called Sekarbem. It gave me the exact same feel, which is my favorite Joker out song. So you can imagine I was attached to it from the moment one. So I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Wow. Well, that is 25 points for Kruz Roudi. We're halfway through, so let's take a look at our current top 5. In first place right now, we have Biber with 29 points, followed by Oxajo and Vukayla, who are tied for second place with 27. Milan Nikolić featuring Caka and Iskaz complete our top 5. Next up, we have Maršali with Popolica Masečenja. Nikola.
I mean, like, first of all, the biggest surprise among the qualifiers, but on the other hand, I mean, I don't know just what precisely to think. The song itself is not maybe so memorable, but for me, it kind of gives a special and nostalgic feeling because the moment it starts and it gets to a certain point where it reminds me on the famous The Duck song, which is a meme song from 2009, when you have the duck goes back to the lemonade stand and it
Oh
says to
no.
the man running the stand and all the other way, da 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 da. So someone will need to insert the song here. So for the people who don't know it to remember, or just go type it on YouTube and check it out. And at the moment I hear that click, for me kind of goes in kind of goes to the vibe of the song, so I'm kind of having the moment to be, let's say, respective of the nostalgic vibe it creates and all the memories which brings me with the other song. So I kind of don't mind the music of the song. The music of the song is fine, but the lyrics could be a bit better and a bit more memorable because, I mean, it's definitely among the hardest ones to remember whatsoever what's going on there. So on one side, I do appreciate the effort, and I do like the fact that it's a quite young band which tries to build the, let's say, the name and the, let's say, music which they want to perform. But on the other hand, I do not think this was the best way to present like as a debutant at a festival. On the other hand, I like the fact that people loved it and they had voters and they're in the final. So it's amazing for them.
Pass me a trophy. You had voters.
After they performed their song, I said out loud, it's like, thank God this is the last time I'm going to hear this song. And then they qualified.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the second time you'll be here.
Yep. Out of 10 for Po policama sećanja. Nikola.
It's a 5 from me, just based on the nostalgia feeling.
Shaun?
4.
Bea?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a 6 for me.
This is only a 2 for me.
That's rough. They're just kids.
They're
They
in a
have to
song
learn.
competition. I judge the song.
They learn. Teach them while they're young.
17 points for Maršali. Anna and the Changes with Brynnemar next. Bea.
This was so boring. I don't know. It was pretty boring for me. I saw it and I was like, okay, there's gotta be something happening. Something is going to happen. And it did not happen the way I expected, at least. I mean, we got a strong female lead singing a ballad with a choir behind and this power song that tries to be powerful, but in the end, it's just so bland. I
It
don't get why
doesn't
it made
try
it to
to
the
be
final, really.
powerful. Come on now. It's not
It's
trying to be. It's like saying Constructor's trying to be blonde.
at least to me, it seemed pretty bland. I see what she's trying to do, but for me personally, it's not doing it. I mean, if it's a classic Euro ballad. It's nothing special. It's just a ballad. And I'm like I've said before, I'm not a very big ballad person, so that might have biased my opinion a little bit, but I really found it pretty boring.
I was
I
very
have
excited
to.
to see Anna among the participants, but I expected that she will be singing something in English because the music which she
Yeah.
creates is mostly in English. And when I saw that she's performing in Serbian, I was like, what? And then I was like, okay. And I mean, it's okay, but I do like many of her other songs much more.
I have to step in and defend my only interviewee from Pesma Za Evroviziju 2025 because I don't know how to say the number in Serbian. She was good. She was good. I didn't have any expectations, to be honest. But she's that kind of artist, in my opinion, that she's never gonna win a competition like this. But we need these kinds of artists in national finals just to tone down the bombast. And that's what I mean when I say I did not have any expectations of this being the star of the show. But it's kind of like, when you're making the sweetest cocktail, you still need to put in something that is not sweet to take to keep it from giving you diabetes. And this is the song, that selection for me that does it. Anna,
Yeah, pretty much like adding a little sugar to tomato sauce so it's not that acidic or something like
kind of, yeah. Even though it's the opposite, but yeah.
that.
I love how Natalia Gordienko now came to mind. Give me some sugar. Let's go Brinem out of 10. Bea.
Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10 because I insist it's not bad. It's just a little plain.
Bea gave it a 6 for it being boring. I give it a
Yeah.
4 for being all right. Nikola.
It's a 5 from me.
Shaun.
I give it a 7 for being one of my favorites.
We need to adjust our scoring system. Sorry, guys. Anna and the changes. 22 points. Tam is up next with Durum Durum. Nikola.
I absolutely love this one, and I love the let's say singability of it, and because it's so catchy and so memorable and so fun, and the meaning also, it's super interesting and fun for the Slavic people as well, because of what is durum and what is like happening with with different types of food and everything. So more or less it's super fun and super nice. The performance was also interesting. I did expect it to be a bit more energetic though, but on the other hand, I'm overwhelmed by the song itself, so I love it, and I will be playing it regardless the result. But we will see what will happen in the final, and it's gonna be a super crazy race, definitely.
When the songs were out and everyone was like, durum, 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 durum. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Relax. Let me have my own time with this song. I have to admit, it's a good song. It's a good song, and it definitely durum durums in my brain late at night.
More, more.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Best styling for me. The styling was incredible. Mimi Mercedes could take some lessons, but oops, spoiler. Yeah, I like this. I think if this had to be the one, I could get behind it. I could get behind it.
The staging was amazing. It blew my mind. Like the red is one of my favorite colors. So I immediately saw a scarlet aesthetic and all the tribal themes and everything. And my first thought was, huh, now I see what Philip Baloch likes her so much. And because I'm a big Philip Baloch fan, and I saw him endorsing the song before I even got to see the staging, and I was like, I'll keep an eye on this, and I'm so glad I did because it was an amazing entry, and I really think that if she doesn't make it to Eurovision, she has at least a top 3 chance. She is powerful. It's
Ervin
mind-blowing.
started adjusting his score once you mentioned Philip Baloch.
No, I did not. I just have to add that
Ervin.
she literally made everyone in the press room move during the performance, and it was just like it was a vibe. Durum Durum out of 10. Nikola.
It's a 9 from me.
Shaun.
Awesome.
All right. Bea.
Yeah, it's gonna be an 8 out of 10 for me.
And it's an 8 for me as well. And with 33 points, Tam is in the lead.
Durum durum.
More, more.
Next up, we're gonna have Prince with Mila. I was really glad that Prince was back once again, especially considering that like he won the televoting a couple of years ago. And in a way, I was low-key hoping that he was gonna come with a rock song because he sings rock so well as well. But instead of that, like we got one of the gentlest and like softest ballads, let's say, of this year's Pesma Za Evroviziju. And I think that this also suits him like so well. He sung the song perfectly. It looked beautiful on screen. He was putting so much emotion into his performance. The dancer also looked great, and the whole thing just worked. And it just looked beautiful. It sounded beautiful, and I genuinely hope that like he is gonna reach it like one step forward and manage to win this, but we'll see. Shaun agrees with me apparently.
Okay, so I've said before that ballads are not my thing, but this one, this one ballad I loved. It was amazing. Like, thanks, Shaun. Thanks. I loved male ballads, especially because we are very used to female ballads on Eurovision. So seeing male ballads is always a nice treat. I loved Due Vite in 2023, for example. And this one, wow, he's a vocal powerhouse. The emotion, the staging, everything. It's top notch. It's amazing. He did a very, very good job on stage, and I really, really hope he gets the chance to go to Eurovision.
And also, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out my interview with Prince right after the semi-final. But anyways, let's score
Hang
Mila
on a
out of
minute.
10.
I have to say something about Prince.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
to say something. I'm
sorry,
sorry.
Sean. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to say
Be
something.
mindful, Shaun. There are children watching.
I have to say something about this. When the songs dropped, this was the first one I went to listen to, and my God, I was not disappointed. Serbia, listen to me. Did I ever lie to you? No. We became friends when Constructa was born. This is the one. This is the one. Send this. Send this. Please. For the love of God. You see this number over here, this ugly number? Wait, I have an ad. 36. 36 place on the odds. You send Prince, I can't guarantee, but I'll place a bet and I'll make sure that the odds go high because this is the one. Come on. It's perfect. It's packaged perfectly. Take it as it is. I'm not sure about the dancer, to be honest, the Azerbaijan 2014 thing going on, spinning in the on the trapeze. I'm not sure. Maybe the health and safety inspectors might cancel that. But this is the one. Serbia, please. This is your boy. Enough said.
Well, time to score Mila out of 10 then. And I'm going to start this with a 9. Nikola.
From Prince of Persia to the Little Prince, and it's another 9 from me as well.
Shaun?
I don't think he's very little, but it's a 9 from me as well.
What does a song need to
Shaun?
get a 10 from you when it's your favorite and you're going to pay money to bet on it?
It, I mean, my standards are usually a little bit high. Like for me, 10 is perfection. 10 is I would not change anything.
Okay.
And it's only
And
Constructa and no one else.
no, I
Yeah,
didn't 10s
yeah,
before,
true.
but for me, the 10 is I'm not gonna change anything. And there are still notes I would give the creative team if they had to take this to Eurovision to take off the dancer or maybe something a bit more intimate, you know?
Mhm.
All right. And Bea?
You guys are gonna hate me for this, but I only gave it a 7.
That's only, I mean, it's okay. It's
It's
okay.
okay, Bea.
It's a
It's
leader, I
okay.
believe, maybe.
It's
No?
okay.
And that is 34 points for Prince. And he
Wow.
now takes the lead, 1 point ahead of Tom.
That is a good score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You see,
is.
Serbia? Listen to ESCBubble.
One of the top favorites is up next. It's Mimi Mercedes with Turbo Žurka. Bea.
I don't get the hype. I absolutely don't get the hype. I never
Brava,
got the
Bea.
hype. I love you too. And I never got the hype from the beginning. And I think I didn't get the hype with the stage. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe the live version will make me change my mind. Maybe I'm being too harsh of a judge. Maybe. And then the day came and I saw it and I was like, this is what people like so much. I don't get it. It's a bit messy for me. It doesn't work for me as a song, but I can see why other people like it. And you know, I don't know what to say about the song. That doesn't get me hate online, but I really don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't want to get it because
Oh,
for me it's a disaster. It's a true disaster. I don't know how it made it to the
so
final.
we know it's gonna be a 7.
I mean, for this one, on a polar opposite of Bea, I need to say that I definitely saw it in the final immediately after I saw the name, which will be performing at Pesma Za Evroviziju, because Mercedes is a huge name in Serbia and she's super popular and she stayed true to her style. So she didn't change anything in order to, let's say, do something to have the audience or the masses enjoy something different from her just because it's more Eurovision friendly or not. No, she's staying true to herself. The music which she creates, she has many other songs which are better, if you ask me. I do like a couple of her songs, like which are more, let's say, even crazier in a way, have interesting lyrics, have innuendos, and play with words in general. But this one is she didn't put that much effort in it. It's just putting some kind of random words and then announcing turbo party, turbo žurka, la la la, it's gonna be crazy, and then just the beats and everything, and even adding some of the elements of traditional like Serbian folklore and heritage in the background screens. But on the other hand, then she appears like she's coming from a football match or something, which is kind of also her style as well already, as I already said. So she's staying true to herself, and she's the name and the author and the singer, which audience really like here. So I'm not surprised that she's in the final. I would not be even surprised even if she gets the maximum amount of points from the audience. But we will need to wait and see for that because there are other competitors who are biting right after to receive the better vote.
Can I just say one thing? You know what this performance reminded me of? Ronella, in the sense that powerful female, deep vocal, staged absolutely horribly, and lots of fan hype. I mean, let's face it, there's lots of hype around this one. And Serbia, ears wide open, ears wide open. Don't send this. We've seen what happened to Ronella. Justified or not, we can have a conversation later, but please, for the love of God, you've got better options.
You want them to choose Prince, don't you?
No. Why would you think so?
Anyways, Turbo Žurka out of 10. Bea.
Yeah, this was a 6 from me, but then I saw the staging and it went down to a 5. Yeah.
For me, this is going to be a 7. Nikola?
It's a 6 for me.
Shaun?
It's a 7 because I do like the song.
25 points for me, Mercedes.
Wow.
Not sarcastic at all. Sedlar is up next with Oči boje zemlje. Shaun?
Oh, this is the one I'm talking about? Jesus Christ.
Caught
This,
you off guard, didn't I?
I had to interrupt people to talk about Prince and Mimi Mercedes, and this is the one I get. What am I gonna say about this? I mean, the first 20 seconds when I saw, is it the same flutist or whatever the instrument is as Jelko Joksimovic?
Yeah.
Love that guy.
That's the reason
Love
they
that.
qualified, probably.
But that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't hate this, don't get me wrong. I actually do like I think I like the performance more than the song, not because I want to be streaming this, but I want to enjoy this kind of moment in a show. It calms me down a little bit, and I'm not nervous for it because I don't care for it as much as the other favorites. You know what I mean? Like it's that moment where you have zero expectations. You just sit down after like two or three favorites, and you're like, you know what? I'm enjoying this experience. I might not enjoy it if I listen to it on Spotify, but this experience of the performance and the song being so calming, I like it. I have to admit though, the guy kind of looks like a if Nordman from Melodifestivalen and the guy from Škodra Elektronika had a baby, I think it would be Sedlar.
Oh, God.
That's gonna haunt my nightmares now.
I mean, when this song was on, I sort of wanted to go to the toilet and like have my toilet break, but the toilet was quite far and I wasn't sure I'm gonna make it back in time for Milan Nikolić, so I decided not to go. And I sat through the whole 17 minutes of this song.
Oh my
Um,
God.
I have a question. Why would someone whose song is called Earth Colored Eyes put a massive moon in the backdrop?
What is it about moons this year in Pesma Za
This year,
Evroviziju?
we are all into the moon as a background, and not only as a background, but as a prop. So I do believe that
Everybody
it's
be
either
mooning everybody in
someone
Serbia.
lacking the creativity. I mean, I don't know why are we obsessed with moons this year. Maybe I'm not following the track which is happening. So yeah, but on the other hand, I would expect to see either a soil or earth in general or something like that based on the song and the lyrics. So it just doesn't fit.
Because
Well,
the
like
last
Philip
time we saw
Ballard
a moon.
said, Duga noc. So
But anyways, I just found this like really a drag, and I find it really uninteresting, let's say, not to use a different word. So yeah. And I was shocked it's qualified. And I'm convinced it's qualified because of the flutist. Out of 10, Shaun.
Lane moje, na, na. 6.
Bea.
Wow.
Bea.
oh well, this was pretty boring for me, so I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Wow, Bea.
This was pretty boring for me as well. I gave it a 2. Nikola.
And I'm joining with a 3.
Wow.
That's
Sedlar's gonna
very
come into my
strong.
DMs.
Very strong 15 points for Sedlar. Filarri is up next with Meet and Greet. Bea.
What just happened? I mean, I looked at the stage and I went like, what is this?
It's
I was
Marcus
like,
and
is this
Martinez
Stefan
version 2.
Galea? Is this Stefan Galea all over again? And I was like, wow, this is a performance. I was shocked for a hot second, and then I realized, yeah, I kind of like this, but I think that the staging is a little bit of more changes, or the camera angles. I don't know, but something needs to be changed because as much as I kind of enjoyed it, I felt like the performance was a little bit too much, on the side of too much. Like, I know that the song is kind of too much, but maybe if they tone the performance a little bit down, I would be able to enjoy the song a bit more. But it was a roller coaster, and I'm not sure how I feel about roller coasters, you know.
I'm confused because the first time Filari showed up, he was like the new kid at school. The second time Filari came here,
With
he's
the yellow
like
gloves.
that was the first time. The second
Yeah.
time, he's like the kid that's being bullied at school. And now he showed up and he looks like the guy who's bullying people at school.
Exactly, the
Like
evolution.
what is going on? Like last year with all of this, he was wearing a dress that was heavier than him. And this year he looks like he's about to beat me up or something.
Give me your boats! Give me your boats!
He looked like he was gonna beat somebody up. I swear to God. I I I'm not crazy about the song, to be honest. I like Filari. I think he's a very promising talent. However, please, buddy, for the love of God, I hope I get to meet you on Friday because I will probably have to tell you in person that next year, Pesma Za Evroviziju, stay away from the application process because we need some time to go back into the lab to build our artistry and to actually figure out something that is cohesive with who you are as an artist, my friend. The
Well, in
song,
Filari's defense, he did not apply. It was his management that sent him the song without his knowledge.
really,
Yeah.
For
it's
real?
giving Iralosco. I did.
That's insane.
Yeah, listen, the song Meet and Greet. I can meet, but I'm not sure I will greet.
You will score, but we're going to start with Bea.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
For me, this is no song, but it's a decent performance. So for me, this is a 5. Nikola?
It's a 4 for me.
Shaun?
Same description as Ervin. Copy paste. It's a 5.
And that is 20 points for Filari. And last but not least, we have the song that was performed first in the first semi, and that is Šesto čulo by Bojana and David. And this is, again, an act that I was looking forward to seeing back in the competition, especially because I quite enjoyed No No No. Not on the first listen, but like a couple of listens later, it was like much better. And their performance was actually one of the best performances last year. And I was really appreciating the fact that David was actually dancing, because you don't actually see that many male singers who dance at the same time in Pesma Za Evroviziju or in the past in Beovizija. It happens very rarely. So this was like a nice positive surprise. And just purely based on the performance from last year, I was expecting the stage to absolutely blow up. And that just didn't happen. Also, this song, I've heard it multiple times, but it's nowhere near as good as No 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 was. So I feel a little bit let down. This is by far not the best song of Boris Subotic. I feel that like he can do much better than what he did here. So thank you. Glad you're here. But come back again next year with something better because this will and it should finish lower than No 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 did.
I mean, this performance and the song as well are suffering the fact that you have a returning artist right immediately after they set up certain, let's say, standard or mold for themselves. So I loved No 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 from the first go, from the first listen song-wise. The performance let me down. On this one, what is happening is completely different, as Ervin said. So the song is nothing like captivating as No No No, but on the other hand, the performance is super good, and as Ervin mentioned, I mean, super good comparison to the other one which they delivered last year.
Oh no, I preferred the
So
last year's one very much to this one.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
then I misunderstood. It doesn't matter. Anyways, like I do appreciate the fact that David was dancing and also the choreography and everything, and the costumes were a bit better this time, if you ask me, than the last year's
Yes.
year. And on the other hand, as I said, so like they set up a standard and you know kind of what to expect, but on the other hand, song was a bit let down and the performance was good for me. So it's kind of mixture of everything. And as much as it's getting kind of catchy, I'm not a huge fan of Shesto Chula. I do prefer No No No.
I have to say that I interviewed with Bojana and David. I had a lot to do so, and they told me that they didn't plan on coming back initially, but their management convinced them to do so. And
What
so
is
I
going
think
on?
that might have like influenced the fact that the performance was a bit more of a letdown than it was last year. But I think it was pretty
Could be.
good. I mean, they're very professional kids, and they're giving it all on stage, and you know they are very good at what they do. So I really hope to see them in the top 10 again, and I really hope that the public keeps on loving them all throughout the career because they're had to do great things.
Well, let's hope that the public is going to love them a little bit more this year than last year, but we're going to find that out on Friday. Let's score Shesto Chula out of 10. I'm going to start with a 6. Nikola?
It's a 6 from me as well.
Shaun?
It's a 7.
Bea?
I give it an 8. They're my children. I love them.
And that is 27 points for Bojana and David. As you can see, the favorite of the four of us is Princ, who scored 34 points. We have Tam in second place with 33, and Biber in third place with 29. Oxajo and Vukayla complete our top 5. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below who your personal favorites are, and what do you think about all of the finalists of Pesma Za Evroviziju. Also, let us know whether you agree, whether you disagree maybe with our thoughts and opinions, and subscribe to our channel to be up to date with all of our upcoming videos. There's still going to be a couple of interviews with national final artists. There's going to be a whole bunch of interviews with Eurovision artists, and there's still going to be 1 or 2 more review videos like this one. Thank you very much, Bea, Shaun, and Nikola for joining me for this video, and we're going to see you all very soon back on our ESCBubble channel. Bye, everyone.
Bye.